Because life has no reset button, think safety.
Well, in a lot of the places that we've gone, and we've been to numerous countries within the Asia-Pacific region, to include Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and we're soon going to go talk with Thailand, Bangladesh, and India. A lot of the issues that you have are quizzical, and they look across the table at you, and so the first question out of our mouth is, when we're talking to them, is, why is a Marine with no medical training at all sitting here across the table from these people talking about bird flu? And it's because it's not just a medical issue. We've come to find over the courses of 2 years worth of doing this that there's an operational aspect to this as well. Second and third order effects that are associated with pandemic influenza. It's not just the people being sick, it's the people who are not at their work. So now you have transportation problems, you have logistics problems, you have possibly energy problems if your energy sector is down. So now how do you treat those people that are sick if you have no capacity or no capability from lower infrastructures to be able to support that? That's the types of things that we talk about. You got to understand that a lot of the countries that we go and talk to, they deal with this on a daily basis. Some of the countries' ideas of it are a little bit different than other countries. Some of the countries are actually willing to accept the risk because it's part of the cost of doing business. One of the ministries that we talked to, they said, you know what, we lose 400 people a day to cholera. Losing 4 people a month to bird flu, that's well within our means, and that's just one of the costs of doing business, because we don't want to take poultry out of these people's lives, because without the poultry, they get no protein, because that's 90% of their diet. And then we have other countries who are kind of like we are, not so much the United States, where it's fallen off of the radar, but they see it so much and they talk about it so much that they're kind of tired of talking about it, because it hasn't manifested yet in their country, so they don't feel it's important, they don't think it's going to, yet they're surrounded by it. And if it does break out, there's going to be issues associated with that are going to affect their country. So those are the kinds of things that we talk about. Because with, and again, I'm not a medical person, but with influenza, historical perspective shows that outbreaks occur over the course of time. And I was 6 years old when the Hong Kong flu hit in 1968. And I remember being sick as a dog, And, H3N2 isn't as virulent as H5N1 is. But if this were to outbreak like the 1918 pandemic flu were to, you have the capacity or capability to kill 1 billion people if you don't catch it in an expeditious manner. And, you're talking about 18% or 10 to 18% of the world population. And that's not acceptable, because it's a world problem. It's not just the United States' problem. It's not just Indonesia's problem. Everybody has to be involved, because it's going to affect everybody if we don't take care of the problem. The U.S. Northern Command is what we call the global synchronizer for planning for the military. They are taking the whole Department of Defense and writing the overarching structure by which all of the component commands, to include themselves, are going to operate. We're taking and we're nesting all of our plans within the entire Department of Defense to ensure that we have seamless transition throughout the globe. I'm currently based at Marine Forces Pacific Command, Camp Smith, Hawaii. I support 2 commands in this capacity. I support Lieutenant General Goodman, who is the Marine Forces Pacific Command commanding officer. He is also the executive agent for an organization called Combined Support Force 503, which is the foreign response effort in support of Department of State in the event a request were to come out from another neighboring countries. Important to know that there's U.S. citizens in every country that we operate in. And the embassies all have personnel and people that reside there. There's, you know, we are always in, the military is always in support of whatever organization it is. The military doesn't go out on its own and do its own thing. So in the event we want to do, in the event we have to do domestic support, we will support DHHS, Department of Health and Human Services. And we will do that through supporting Joint Task Force Homeland Defense, who's the executive agent for domestic response. For foreign response, we'll be the executive agent, and we'll go out and we'll support embassies. We think things that the embassies need will be additional command and control, because they're going to have additional requirements, because you may have people staying at home on a routine basis, doing those social distancing things that you need to do to mitigate the effects of influenza. So you're going to have to be able to go and coordinate with those people off-site. You also may have to get those people into the embassy. Those are another issues that we have to contend with. Then you have to have all the tracking and accountability for all the citizens that are residing within the country at any given time as well. So those are just some of the issues that we're looking at as far as embassy support goes. Well, it's like I said, it's one of those issues that's associated with what they call the PALM process, and that's how the military gets their funding. And really, we only figured we wanted to execute this mission in the end of 2005. So it started 2006, we started working the issue, and realistically, when we started it, a lot of people thought it was just a medical issue. So we went through some other organizations in OSD that use humanitarian assistance money to go out and work with other countries and build our own capacities and capabilities. But as far as regular funding goes, we started looking at that in late 2006, early 2007, and it takes about 2 years to get something built into what they call the PALM process, to where it's a funded program and a funded plan. So starting in fiscal year 2009, we can expect to start to see funding in support of all of the operations and all of the things that we're currently doing.